So first of all, I think it's really important to define the objective. What do you want to learn? What are you actually trying to help people understand or assess? And are there specific aspects of personality that are relevant? So we have three reports that we can use one survey to generate these three reports. If what you're really worried about or interested in is how things are happening when people are under pressure, when there's a lot of change going on as we're all living through now. There might be a version of a particular report or assessment that's more important, more relevant to use. So it's important to think through what your objective is. Another step to help you think through this process too is to look at the different assessments that you're thinking of or look for those. And I would highly encourage you to look for those that have scientific validity. And just because they have a PhD on their team doesn't necessarily accomplish that. So you really need to look at what is the foundation of those assessments and explore the various options and then think about the context because some assessments are better suited for specific purposes. Um, so for example, if your organization is asking you to think about a hiring process, Hogan uses benchmarks. And so they take all of the information and they benchmark individual traits and results for certain jobs. We go the other direction. We actually don't like to do that because we like to talk about using personality assessments for growth and development. We find, based on research and science, that that is actually where people can develop and become their best. So we use it to inform and ask organizations to use these as a way to ask better questions. So using the results for how you might approach this kind of job as opposed to you're not qualified for this job because of your personality trait. We don't subscribe to that approach. It can be used as part of the process in certain ways to get good results, but it means that everyone needs to understand how to use it to ask better questions, how to write better job descriptions, how to have better interview conversations, not to box people in, not to type them or to exclude them. Ask them about ways that they have handled difficult situations under pressure and see if those responses show that they are self-enlightened, self-aware, and figured out how to handle it. I mean, I know I've gotten better over time. So if someone were to look at my results versus asking me how I deal with my personality profile, that's a very different kind of outcome. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if somebody saw my results and didn't ask me about what I do about those results to help mitigate some of those. So I think that gets into it. And it really is from what we now know, and all the work, the great work that Carol Dweck has done around mindset and growth mindset. We go much stronger and lean much stronger into using these for development purposes because it helps people decide if they want to actually try to self-manage better and if they want to use these in different ways. And that really gets back to this last step, which is evaluating practical considerations. So thinking about what you have the money to pay for and what you can actually, the time you have, and what you can access to help build into your own development plans. Some take a lot of time, some use multiple um, approaches, some require multiple surveys to get these different views. That's not necessary with all of these. So you can end up getting a better format, make it easier for people to use if you look for the right ones. It's really important to think about making sure that you understand what the organization is trying to achieve with these. And this comes back to, do they want to use it as growth and development, or are they looking to find a way to hire people? Because that will help you understand how to help correct and navigate through those particular issues. Um, Also, if you think about using it in different ways, you might be able to advise them to use it for other things such as targeted talent management, succession planning. Those who understand and are more self-aware and can manage themselves better are actually going to be more open to doing that for a wider range of people and probably have an easier time at this stage
Mhm.
leading or participating in certain ways. You can also use them as a way to understand how you might need to develop certain groups of people or individuals and develop their leadership potential and their teamship potential too. So it can help you with your development and growth planning and also creating a more positive and inclusive culture. So that's kind of on the organizational side. We do have a kind of a checklist
Okay.
that gets into more of these details or explains a little bit more. And it explains a little bit more around defining your objective. So, what do you want to learn? Are you really looking at self-discovery? Are you looking at something else? Who are you actually trying to do this for? So who's being assessed or who's looking for a personality profile? Is it you? Is it an individual that you're working with, you're coaching? Is it a team that you're in or you're coaching, or is it an entire organization? All those things that I mentioned. There are some suggestions in this kind of top tips, if you will.
Okay.
And if people would let us know or just write to us, direct message me, or you can write to us at enquiries@talentsage.com, then we can send you this kind of checklist. But basically, it's the define your objective, research these different assessments, and look for the different options using something valid. Think about the context, um, evaluate those considerations, and make it practical. So that's the time, the format that you are really interested in. Are you working with a group of scientists who really wants a lot of detail, or are you working with some people who are very time starved and need easy access to be able to use it quickly? And then I'd also suggest the other parts that you'll see in there is really around this suggestion to get professional guidance. So from companies like ours, like TalentSage, working with a coach, if you get experts to help you interpret that, you can make sure that you help people understand these nuances. We're all taught to think about things in terms of good or bad, better or worse. It's too easy to go to that black and white binary kind of view, and that's not what these are about. So you can get some expert advice on how to interpret results or how to interpret the tools that you're looking for. And then the last part, and probably one of the most important but yet not always remembered, is to think about its use ethically. Um, to be able to make sure you find one that uses informed consent, so making sure that people understand the assessment, what it's going to be used for, and how their data will be used. Ensuring that you're not mailing PDFs around or getting reports sent over email servers that stay there for decades. That you've got a system, a report approach, a provider that's actually really focused on protecting the privacy of individuals' results and avoiding the misuse. So, making sure that people are aware of what they're doing and not using it for the wrong purpose. Just let us know, and that'll help give you some more information so that you can use it as a way to find what you need.